Hello and welcome to How to Use a Windows Computer for Students. In this episode, I will be discussing how to use Google Docs. So the first thing you want to do is you want to open your web browser, in my case Google Chrome, and then type in Google Drive into the search, and then click on Google Drive, and then give you the screen. Then you click on Go to Google Drive, and then you'll be asked to sign in. And if you don't have an account, you will have to create one. And then you'll have to create a password for it, which you would have to type in here. And then once you sign in, you're brought to the main screen of Google Drive, and this gives you all of your folders and all of your files. In my case, I already have a bunch, but so there's two ways you can make a document in Google Drive. The first way is hit New, then Google Docs, and it gives you document, much like any other word processor would. And you can do things like type, like hello. You type, and then you can highlight text, and that's done by holding down the left mouse button and dragging across your text. And then you can do various things, like say I wanted to make this red. I could do that, or turn it back to black. I can make it centered, like if I was making a title. And let me show you the other way you can get a document into Google Drive, which is also an example of, also showing you some things that you can do with the formatting. Google Drive. First, I'm going to plug in my USB thumb drive. And then I have my document on it. So I'm going to move that into this window. And then it will be uploaded. Then you can click on it and open it. And then you can, sorry I did that a little quickly, let me go back and show you that again. You click this down arrow, and you click open with Google Docs. And then, because that was a Microsoft Word document, so it's going to take a little bit. By the way, most of the things that work in Google Docs will also work in Microsoft Word and vice versa. So here I have a document. It's already all written out. And so I'm going to show you some of the things we can do to make this the way it is. So the first thing I want to do is I think this paper is a little too short to need table of contents. Now one thing we could do, so I want to get rid of this, one thing we could do is we could just hit the backspace key a whole bunch of times until we get rid of it all, which takes a while. Or the other thing we could do is we can do that highlighting thing, click, and drag across all the text you want to get rid of, and then hit the backspace key once and it's all gone. So that's the thing we can do. Another thing we can do is, this document is called competitive analysis, and if we want to make that title really prominent, one of the first things we can do is we can center it, and it's already bold. If you don't want it to be bold, you click the B up here, and then it changes between being bold and not bold. You can also make it italic, which means it's slanted a little bit. That's often used if you're quoting something from text. Like say if you were doing a report on a book and you wanted to put something in that was said in the book and then talk about it, you could use italics for that in addition to quotation marks. Or you can also underline something and put emphasis on it, which is generally good for a title. So a few things we can do here. So first of all, we can change the font of something. Like say if I wanted this title, I don't want to use Arial. Say if I want to use this font because I think it looks cool, which can be good, but you want to make sure that when you're using a font for a paper that you're going to be turning in, that is also a font that is readable. Because you don't want to turn it in paper and then have a teacher not know what you're saying because they can't read it. So I'm going to just stick to Arial. Another good option is Times New Roman. And right now it's this 14 up here, that's the size. I can make it bigger, I can make it really big. I can also make it really small. Generally a good medium for typed paper is 12 point, and titles generally like 18 to 24. So I can highlight all this, that's 11, anywhere from 10 to 12. You see if I make it 10, it's all a little smaller. If you make it 12, it's a little bigger. If you make it 11, it's back the way it was. To have these headings here, where they're floating out, not on the edge of the page, what you do is you hit the tab key on your keyboard, and that pushes them out. It's called an indent. And you also want to do that at the beginning of paragraphs as well. And there's a few other things you can do, like you can change line spacing, which is good if you have big blocks of text. So now it's easier to read this block because it's not so crunched together. I can do that for all of these. Once again, by highlighting. I'm using 1.5 spacing. You can also make it double spacing if you want it to be even wider. And there we go. And if we decide, oh, I really don't like the way that looks, I don't like how many pages that takes up, what you can do is you can just hit Control Z on your keyboard, or the undo arrow up here. The undo arrow even says you can also hit Control Z. Oh, whoops. And then if you look up here, Control Z, that's gone back. That's gone back. And it's all back the way it was. So even if you make some kind of mistake, or if you delete, like, say if I accidentally hit the backspace key, oops, that's gone. I don't want to have to type that again. I can just hit Control Z, and then it's back. And one nice thing about working in Google Drive is, as you see up here, it always saves it. So you never have the chance of, say, if you're working on a laptop and the battery dies, you'll still have all your work, and you won't have lost work if you've got to save, because it saves automatically for you. Anyway, I think that's about it for this. Thank you very much for watching.